I had my first match right here in Dallas, Texas. I could have my last match right here in Dallas, Texas. If you want Stone Cold Steve Austin to compete in a match tonight against this sack of shit, give me a hell yeah. I didn't hear you. I said give me a hell yeah. Bring me down to God, ref.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the least requested, least demanded, and the least downloaded wrestling podcast, PCW. This could be a long podcast, so strap in and shut up and don't be a little bitch about it.
To the masters. Ruthless aggression.
Hey, it's your host, Semi-Dry Chicken. And, it's WrestleMania season. It's time to review. It's time to get together and discuss this long, exhausting weekend of wrestling. But I'm not alone. Unfortunately, my co-host Jake couldn't make it. But I did bring backup. Oh, God, did I bring backup. With me, I'm bringing back DeAndre.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Let's do this WrestleMania thing.
And boots on the ground, somebody who was there in person. I brought Wayne back.
Hello, hey yo, how you doing?
Hey, yo. I love it. And my secret weapon, all the way from PCL, I brought Paul Hart.
Hey, I can't wait to talk some antiques, WrestleMania. This is exciting. Your secret weapon is about to blow up all over the launch pad, so I don't know if I'd be too excited about that, my man.
Wild card.
Wild card, bitches.
Wild card, bitches. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I just love bringing more and more people from PCL over. Even if you have some slight interest in wrestling, you're looking from the outside in. You're looking in that glass window and you're looking in and you're like, what the hell are they doing in there? Well, that was WrestleMania. And we're going to review that tonight. Oh, we have so much to discuss. So much crap. Injuries. Championship wins. Screw-overs. Black eyes. Turns. I mean, we got a little bit of everything. WrestleMania 38. It was in Dallas, Texas. They've also held 3 other WrestleManias there. Can any of you guys guess which other WrestleManias were held there?
17.
Okay. Was 17 was it? Yeah, that was going to be one of my guesses. I can't remember if that one was in Dallas or not. I know it was Texas.
17 and 30, was it 31 or 32?
It was 32.
32 when Hogan called it the Silver Dome.
Oh, man. Yes. Yeah. Welcome to the Silver Dome, brother.
I'm going to go on Gawker.
Yeah, that'll go down in history. It was WrestleMania 7, 25, and 32. And 38 now. This is the third time that we've seen Brock and Roman Reigns in the main event. We've also seen them in the main event at WrestleMania 31 and 34. I don't know if anybody's getting sick and tired of it yet, of seeing these two headline WrestleMania after WrestleMania after WrestleMania.
Oh, we'll get there.
We'll get there. Oh, yes, we will. Night 1, the attendance record, 77,899. And one of those people was Wayne. Wayne, what was the weather like there?
Saturday
Was it hot and uncomfortable? Yeah, on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday it was kind of it was in the upper 80s, and Sunday it was in the mid 70s. But both days were sunny, actually.
Right.
Is it okay if I ask a quick? Is it okay if I ask a quick question? Wayne, how many WrestleManias have you been to now?
I had not been to a WrestleMania. Or this Wayne? Yes.
Other Wayne. Here's somebody
Gotcha.
fried chicken. I didn't even know your name
there
was
you go.
Wayne until right now.
Yep, there you go.
This is my third one.
Oh, that's awesome. I've only been to one. That's amazing.
What other ones have you been to, Wayne?
I went to WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans, and I went to the one last year in Tampa.
Nice.
And I'm going to the one next year in Los Angeles.
Oh, that's fucking cool, man. Yeah, I was only at WrestleMania 22.
In Chicago?
Yeah, in Chicago. We ran into Edge the day before at Target with Lita. That was pretty fucking cool. He literally was buying lighter fluid, which we found out would be instrumental the next night.
Wrestlers, they're just like us. They shop everywhere.
You got a spoiler.
Yeah. Real quick, I wanted to thank two people tonight. Listener to the podcast, Dwayne Coleman, gave me my first pop, a Triple H pop, a DX Triple H pop. The funny thing about me and Pops is I was never a fan of Funko Pops, and the reason is I feel like if I get one, I just can't stop, and I'm a bit of a collector. So, Dwayne, you are a son of a bitch, because now I want more. And he says he has a Shawn Michaels one for me. And I just know it's just not going to stop there.
Wait, so Mr. Chicken, are you saying once you pop, you can't stop?
Very much so. Very much so. And the other person I'd like to thank, I guess he's my sponsor for the evening. And when I mean sponsor, I mean he's the one who supplied me with the alcohol for tonight. He left it at my house after WrestleMania. So I'd like to thank David Foster for the Guinness Drought Stout he left. It will be fueling me through the rest of the evening. So, another listener to the podcast. So I'd like to get those two thank yous out.
That's so funny, a guy named Foster drops off Guinness.
Yeah.
Think it'd be Foster's beer. Sorry.
All right. How about that kickoff show? 2 hours of absolute nothing. At least from us, from our point of view, it was, from what I saw, I don't know, 6 o'clock I sat down, and it was just video packages, no kickoff matches, which I thought was kind of weird, considering all the matches they had on SmackDown the night prior with the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and we'll talk about it later, but not having time for a certain match that had to go on Sunday. But yet, we had no matches on the kickoff show? Thoughts?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Yeah, that seems like a weird choice. I guess they, with their kickoff show, they kind of want to come off in the same sense that most other professional sports do with their pregame shows, like NBA Countdown or their NFL with their Sunday Night Countdowns. WWE wants to do the same thing with their pregame show and all that stuff, but at the same time, when people tune in to wrestling, they kind of expect to see at least some wrestling. Like, even back in the day when they would do like a Sunday Night Heat before a pay-per-view, you would get like a match or two snuck in before there, which, you know, at least if somebody's not going to be on the main WrestleMania program, they can work a pre-show match and, you know, collect a check or something. But to just sit back and just talk for 2 hours about the upcoming show and to do it over 2 nights is like, how much can you talk about the night's matches? It's
right. Like, how many video packages do we need?
Yeah, like the show could have been an hour beforehand, maybe with a match squeezed in, and it probably would have been much tighter and less fluff of trying to fill up, you know, 2 hours worth of programming.
Right. I feel like if you're already here, you already know what's going on. We don't need the video packages. I don't mind a video package before the match, but I don't need to see the same Stone Cold video package 6 times before the show even kicks off. Like, and since I have a fantasy league, I don't like to miss anything. So sometimes, there are matches beforehand and, I gotta grade those. And if I miss out, I miss out on points. But, 2 hours. Wayne, what time what did you do those 2 hours?
Parked.
Oh, well,
And,
I guess that would be right.
Well, doors open I think doors open at 4:30. And we were still in the hotel at 4:30. So by the time we got there, we parked, met up with a friend, and got to our seats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how long before the actual show kicked off were you in your seats?
30 minutes, maybe.
Oh, that's not bad. No, that's not as bad at all.
I can't imagine what the hell somebody would have done from 4:30 to kick off if they'd have got there then.
Oh my gosh.
I've been that person before. I went to the Royal Rumble in San Antonio, and I was there at 3:30 in the afternoon in my seat, and the show started at 6:30.
What the hell did you do for all that time?
Watch his battery on his phone go down. TikTok. Yeah.
Watch the guys build the ring or something.
Yeah. It's true.
Right, sure. I'll fuck around and went down there and be like, hey, y'all need a hand with something? I got I'm just here. I ain't doing shit.
I work stage production hand, and it's actually pretty fun. We get there early in the morning, set up the ring and everything, and set up the dressing rooms, and all the lights and the sound tests get done, and then we get to go home for a couple hours, and then come back for the show. I don't like to go home. Why would I want to go home? There's professional wrestlers in the same building in catering where I'm eating. Why would I want to go home? No, I'm going to stay here all day. So I would stay at the arena all day just walking around. And, then you're backstage the whole show. And then when the show's over, you get to see everybody leave and pack up everything. And you're probably there till sometimes 2 a.m, depending on how many tractor trailers they brought of crap. Yeah, definitely. Look at your local arena. Sometimes they always need stagehands for unloading trucks. And just unloading trucks, you can see a lot of shit. So. But, yeah, you were saying, Wayne, 30 minutes in your seat. That's not bad. I couldn't do anything more than that because some seats are just so damn uncomfortable. And WrestleMania is long as hell to begin with.
I mean, also, it takes an hour just to walk the damn stadium. So we've got there at 6 o'clock and walked to our seats. It took us a half an hour just to get to our seats from the front door.
Yeah, I believe that.
I've heard Jerry World is huge.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's kick this off with the first match of the night. We started off with the Usos. Going against Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. I have to ask, Wayne, what was it like to be there with 77,000 plus people when Shinsuke Nakamura's music was playing?
Well, it was the best. I think I have a video of it. I'm not sure because I was out of it at one point. But it was really good. Everybody was screaming, hey, yo, with Rick Boogs. Mm-hmm. And everybody saying, Shinsuke Nakamura, rah! And all that.
Yep. Right to a T. I mean, that just seems like one of those things where, being, part of the crowd, being there is so fun. Cause, I mean, sometimes, you do it at home or you hum it cause you just can't help it. You just love it. But yeah, I can imagine with that many people there and Rick Boogs especially playing the guitar, it must have been great.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, the match was only 6 minutes and 55 seconds long. During this match, I don't know if anybody else saw, there was a spot where Rick Boogs tried to look like he was about to do a Samoa drop or a fireman's carry, and he had both the Usos up on his shoulders, and his leg gave out. And from what I heard, he tore his quad. From what I heard, it was a real injury. From the TV point of view, we didn't see, or at least I didn't see any hands being held up with crosses, but I did see a lot of refs get on him. Yeah, that's a lot of weight to put on your shoulders. I mean, two guys, two Samoans, But, Paul, what did you think of the match overall?
I thought it was a fun opening card match. I gotta say, I enjoy the fuck out of Pat McAfee. During the entrance, he's like standing on top of the announce table, air guitaring.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's cool. Like, and especially with Big E's injury a couple weeks ago, it's really freaky to see stuff like that happen. So, I'm glad he's going to be okay, but the Usos always deliver in Shinsuke. I mean, I thought it was a serviceable opening match to start off WrestleMania. I mean, the fans, I'm sure Wayne can testify to that, but the fans just seemed happy to have pretty much a packed house for kind of the first full-blown open stadium for a WrestleMania since 2020 or 2019, whenever it was. So it was a fun time to just see everybody come alive for it. It kind of sucks that somebody got injured, but I thought it was a fun match to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, like you said, it was a great opening match. I mean, that's what these guys need when you're sitting there for 30 minutes. But yeah, you want to kick the show off right, and what better way to kick it off with a really good tag team and a really good entrance. And yeah, I love seeing Pat McAfee. Like, it never gets old. Like, every week, just seeing him like standing on the announcer's table, kicking around Michael Cole shit. I swear, one of these days, the table's just gonna collapse. Like
that'd be
just
awesome.
Rocking it too hard, and yeah, it's just gonna collapse. And I just can't wait to hear the audio just cut out. Like,
I don't know. They seem to have reinforced those tables over the years. Like, it just as far as this whole pay-per-view went, as many bumps that were taken on those tables, and they didn't completely explode like the old Spanish announce tables back in the day, they clearly put some reinforcement on them tables.
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder if it's like, this is getting old. We have more expensive equipment on these tables. Like, they used to have the big, boxy monitors back in the day, back in the 90s. And those were used as weapons back then. And those hurt like a bitch. I mean, we're talking these sharp metal square cases with, TV monitors. Now they got tablets.
Right.
Well,
I mean,
you gotta think that, like, sometimes a table bump would happen, like, the first match of the card, and, like, these announcers are sitting there with no table for, like, the whole pay-per-view.
Yeah, because it's very rare that they ever, like, reassemble the table. I mean, yeah, you're right. They're either standing there or sitting there like a bunch of weirdos with no table. And, yeah, it looks weird as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Spanish
announcers got sick of that shit. Flipped out.
Man, can you imagine King of the Ring 98 when Mankind gets tossed off the Hell in a Cell and the table doesn't break?
He
just
I think that would have been his last match.
He would be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say I give props to Shinsuke Nakamura in this match just for being able to react quickly after Boogs' injury, which when I first saw it live, I wasn't sure if it was actually real or if it was a work. But watching the replay, you could see, like, oh no, he legit messed himself up. You could see the pain that he was in afterwards and how quickly he just rolled out the ring and just basically curled up by the steps. And like I said, props to the Usos and Shinsuke for immediately just reacting and quickly getting the match going as to not draw too much attention to Boogs and his injury. Still getting in some pretty decent spots. Nakamura still managed to get in some pretty impressive offense on his own before the Usos eventually just overwhelmed him and they worked to the finish. So props to them for that.
I heard a rumor, that actually Shinsuke and Boogs were supposed to win originally. But because of what said injury, if that had happened, that plans changed. But at the same time, after watching Monday Night Raw yesterday and seeing the outcome of the last match on Sunday, I kind of find that hard to believe, just per storyline. So that's why I kind of had my money on the Usos winning that. It kind of seemed like a given. If like the big dog's going to retain, then the Usos are going to retain. Normally how it goes. It's, I always feel like in a faction when that tag team loses the gold or somebody in your faction loses the gold, when everybody is holding it, you're always waiting for that. Who's the first guy to lose it? And when that first guy loses that title, that's when the cracks in the foundation start. That's when the stable starts to crumble. We've seen that with Evolution, with even the Shield. Titles make guys greedy. But
I kind of find it hard to believe that the Usos would drop the titles or lose the titles to a relatively speaking new-ish tag team.
Mm-hmm.
That they would just drop the titles to them that quick without much more of a build-up to it. Now, granted, WrestleMania is about as big as it gets in the business, but their feud hasn't really been going on for that long, at least to my knowledge. So, yeah, I don't know how much I believe that they were actually going to drop the titles to Nakamura and Boogs.
Right, and this could actually be a blessing in disguise because I personally think Shinsuke needs to get back out there and be a singles competitor again. And, Rick Boogs, I feel like he has enough of a gimmick of a character that he could be a solo wrestler. So let's hope when he comes back that, there's something for him. But we know quad muscle tears some guys don't come back from that. Very few do. And when they do, they're out for a long time. So who knows? We might not see Boogs back until like Survivor Series.
Even if that long, like usually a quad tear or something like that is usually close to a year-long injury. Like,
yeah,
the most notable,
maybe the Rumble. Even.
Yeah, I'll say the most famous quad tear that we know of is Triple H back in 2001 after WrestleMania 17, when he was running with Stone Cold as top heels in the company, and then he tore his quad, and that happened maybe around May or so, I think. April or sometime in the spring. He was out for the rest of the year. He didn't come back until January of the following year, right before the Rumble.
And then don't forget about the quad tear heard around the world when Vince McMahon tore both his quads in 2000. I can't remember. 5. Somebody fact check that. Jamie, fact check that. Do we have a Jamie? No, we don't.
Vince McMahon's like, fuck you, son-in-law. I'm going to tear both these motherfuckers.
Yeah. Wayne, do you got anything to add about this match?
Not really.
Yeah. I mean, the entrance was the highlight of that match, and great way, I think, like, to get everybody's energy, ready for WrestleMania. Like, what better way,
Yeah, the crowd was definitely into it, and really the crowd was into it for this entire pay-per-view, which I think really helped enhance both nights of the show. Like, there was barely anything that happened in this pay-per-view that the audience was dead for. They seemed to be, like, I'm sure you could testify to this, Wayne, given that you were actually there. But yeah, at least from our end as watching, the crowd seemed like they were just live the entire night.
Yeah, they couldn't say they was adding crowd music because there was no crowd music to add. It was all there.
Well, let's see if that energy holds night 2. Yeah. So, great way to kick off WrestleMania. Now we got the second match of the night. Drew McIntyre defeated Happy Corbin with Madcap Moss. Now, the night prior, there was the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. And believe it or not, I was shocked, actually, that Madcap Moss won. Like, I was very shocked. Because, like, my girlfriend was in the kitchen, and I was like, "Oh my God, Madcap Moss won! He won!" She's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, very." It just caught me off surprise. I kind of like marked out for it, but I was very surprised that they kind of gave Madcap a win, but then I really thought like, oh well, Happy Corbin's definitely gone over. They're both going to get wins. That wasn't the case. Since Jake's not here, he did tell me I have to talk about how unfair Corbin was treated. Very unfair, because he has a sword. Happy Corbin didn't bring a sword or shield. Very unprepared. It's unfair. I was very surprised also that the first time ever, the End of Days had its very first kick out. If anybody remembers, nobody has ever kicked out of the End of Days. It was very protected. And I was very shocked because I was like sitting there talking to the people at my party and going, hey, fun fact about Baron Corbin. And then he kicked out.
It was bound to happen at some point.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, glad it happened at WrestleMania, I guess, because we see a lot of records and first and last things happen this year. So, you know what? I'm okay with it. And then I guess Happy Corbin's streak is now over. So it was a lot of first for him. The match was only 8 minutes and 35 seconds. I kind of felt like this was coming at some point. So I think it was Madcap was on the side of the ring, and Drew had his sword, and he got his sword back, and like I said, he's gonna be cutting something, chopping somebody's head off or something by accident. Well, he decided to swing the sword and cut the ropes. He cut 2 ropes. Didn't make it to the third one. If you watch it on TV, it's kind of cool because it looks like the blade almost like flexes. But yeah, I kind of felt like that was coming. And as somebody who has put those ropes together, I was like, you son of a bitch. Because I know it's not a quick and easy task. So, with that said, I do want to ask Wayne, when that happened, what did it actually make a sound? And I don't know where you were sitting, but could you hear it?
Well, they had the little pyro boom. That was the only sound I heard.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that loud because it's a stadium. It's not like it's in like a basketball arena like it was Friday night.
Okay.
That's the only thing. That's the only sound I heard was the pyro going off.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, overall it was a good match. Madcap Moss looked like he was interfering a little too much. I thought he was going to cost Corbin the match, and I thought there would have been, this is where they break up, and they go their separate ways, but, you know, that doesn't seem to be the case. Paul, what did you think?
Yeah, I'm just happy that this feud is over. This been going on like 6 months.
Yes.
It's nothing against Happy Corbin. I think he's a great worker, but Drew needs to be back to the main event. Like he just has that look. He has, you know, he can pull off a good methodical match. He can pull off a video game match. We just need some new meat for one of our our champions. Our one guy who is now holding both titles, but I'm happy to see it come to an end because I think Drew needs to get back to that main event status, but it's just a testament. Like, I think Corbin can put on a good match. I just think I think he gets lost in the shuffle. So yeah, I thought it was a serviceable match again, but I'm just happy that it's over and we can see Drew McIntyre go on to bigger things.
Right, I think we're all happy that this feud is over. I mean, like, I like both of these wrestlers, but they just, need to be elsewhere in other feuds. That's all. You know, I don't know if we'll ever see Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss maybe go for the tag titles because, you know, Baron Corbin was known when he came from NXT. He was like the lone wolf. And it took a lot of growth for him to have like a steady, I mean, he's been with other, I don't want to say groups of people, and they were just short stems. Like, I think like Braun Strowman and, who else was he with? Somebody else. Was it, no, maybe it wasn't Sheamus. It was somebody else he was with. It was just like this 3-man group for a while they rocked, and it just wasn't working for him either.
Yeah, I could see that potentially happening. And if anything, the seeds were planted for that with Madcap Moss essentially costing
Drew?
No, not Drew.
Corbin.
Yeah, costing Corbin his momentum when he was up on the rope as Corbin was beating down on McIntyre. And then there was the spot where Madcap Moss was on the ropes, which allowed Drew enough time to recover and plant Corbin with a spine buster. So there's a planning of a seed for him to possibly, for that duo to break up and for Corbin to go solo. But I will say also, and this was a pretty good match, standard fare, good way of wrapping up a feud. Obviously, the top babyface goes over, vanquishes his foes and such. Corbin really impressed me with his abilities in this match. I haven't really never watched much of his matches before or seen too much of his performance, but from what I saw in this, he really impressed me. I will give him that. And he was my early front runner for best dressed of the night, given that he came out with the fresh WrestleMania whites and the shirt. Mm-hmm. But I'll get into that a little bit more later. But the competition for best dressed at this year's WrestleMania was fierce, to say the least.
Yes.
Everybody brought out their WrestleMania best.
Everybody always does, and that's one thing about WrestleMania I love is the outfits, like the gear. You know, they put a lot of time into them, and right. It's always something you remember, especially guys like Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins, you know, Alexa Bliss would do it. Yeah, the New Day. They would always put so much effort into their gear and their attire for their entrance even, and it's just something I look forward to, like, every year. Yeah. and with Drew, I agree, Paul. Like, I want to see him back in the main event scene, and I'm kind of have this feeling that's where he's going next after this feud, and he's going for the champ. But we've been down that road before, and he lost. But let's hope this time around, because now he has some momentum. You know, he just keeps it going, and he hopefully just drops the whole sword. I mean, I'm kind of done with the sword. Maybe they can just take it away because now you're doing damage, man. Cutting ropes.
Right, like it's a good gimmick. It ran its course. You got your climax at WrestleMania, cutting the ropes in half, which I know the workers were on the sideline when he did that. Like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Wayne, how long did it take for them to get those ropes up? I think I messaged you about it already.
Yeah, they were still fixing it when Rey Mysterio was in the ring for the next match.
Yeah, they absolutely were. You could see it, and we'll talk about it when we get to the next match. But yeah, you could see at one point one of the stage workers like quickly run off stage and he was briefly caught on camera for a moment when Rey and Dominic were entering the ring. Yeah.
Let's roll right into that. The next match that we had was Rey Mysterio with Dominic Mysterio. They were in a tag match against The Miz and Logan Paul. Sorry for the lack of excitement for Logan Paul. 11 minutes and 15 seconds. I don't know if that's too much time for these guys. I feel a lot of it was flair with the entrance. Did Rey, I don't know if I remember, did Rey Mysterio come out of the stage this year? like he did back in the day? Did you see that, Wayne?
I don't know. They had power in front of him, so I wasn't sure.
I don't remember if he did pop out.
Yeah, I thought he did. This is why I shouldn't drink when I go watch WrestleMania, because like you get somewhere later in the match and you don't remember certain things. But so the Miz and Logan Paul pick up the win here, but during this match, Logan Paul did play a pretty good heel. He was throughout the match. He was disrespecting Eddie Guerrero. He did the Three Amigos and the Frog Splash on Rey, which I thought was kind of cool because he looked right at the camera when he did it. Like he knew what he was doing, and there was already so much heat on him, and he just put even more on. At the end of the match, we had the Miz hit Paul with a skull-crushing finale. Was it really necessary? Was this like a face turn for the Miz? I don't really understand. Is he still a heel? But it seemed like the crowd liked it. We liked it. I liked it. But Logan, he was seen smiling all the way down when he hit the ground. Wayne, what was his entrance like there with Logan Paul coming into the WWE ring, into the arena?
I guess he got a big ovation, I guess. But it wasn't comedy.
Was there a lot more booing or cheering for him?
There's a lot of booing for Logan Paul. Like a lot.
Sometimes we can't tell from our end because we don't know if they're being pumped in. Because after the Thunderdome, I don't trust anybody anymore. I gotta have boots on the ground. That's why we need you. Because I just can't trust Vince anymore. He's a senile old man who's just gonna pump in audio sounds on Peacock. Just can't trust him.
Yeah, I understand that, but this one, I understand that, but this WrestleMania, it kind of, you could feel the energy. Like all this felt live. Like I never got the impression at any point in this show that artificial sound was being pumped in.
Right.
This just seemed like a really live crowd because I get what you're saying with that. And usually a lot of times what I look for is I look at the crowd itself to see if, what I'm seeing in the crowd matches up with what I'm hearing. And pretty much the entire time, you could see like the crowd interaction, the actual live people in the crowd, it matched up with the sound I was hearing. So this felt like it was just all live audience for both nights of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And also, both Ray and Dominic popped up out the ring. Out on stage. So they both did the pop up entry.
I thought that's what I saw. Because I was like, holy crap! Like he hasn't done that in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably like bad foot on my knees. I was also surprised that Dominic's. I thought he would maybe wear a mask this year. But no, he did wear an outfit that resembled something similar to what Eddie Guerrero wore, I believe. I don't know if it's back in his WCW days. I did see a picture on his Twitter. I can't off the top of my head remember what Ray was wearing.
Both of them were wearing. Yeah, both
flags,
of them were
right?
wearing outfits, reminiscent of flags.
Okay.
Rey Mysterio, his outfit was synonymous, had the colors of the Mexican flag with the red, white, and the green. And then Dominic's was pretty much American flag theme with red, white, and blue, and stars and stripes theme. Both of them coordinated excellent together. And like I said, as I thought Baron Corbin was going to get the outfit of the night, here come Ray and Dom like, no, step aside, sir. We got this.
Yeah,
and just stepped it up a notch.
Yeah, if that's one thing Ray nails every year, it's definitely the outfits. I mean, like, some guys you can remember 2 or 3 outfits. Like, I think, especially as long as he's been around, I mean, we could probably rattle off like 20 to 30 outfits we remember.
Yeah, Ray is a WrestleMania legend when it comes to outfits. He's pretty much dressed as like damn near the entire Marvel universe and DC.
Yeah. Paul, Rey Mysterio's been around for quite some time.
Yeah.
Fan?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think he's like a goddamn human firework, man. He puts on a show. I do think it was cool. I hope I don't ruin at least what her name, like her wrestling name is, but Aja Smith, the referee for this match, was the first black female to ref any match at WrestleMania, which I thought was really fucking cool.
I did see that tweet. That's true.
That it's really cool. And then Dominic wore attire that Eddie Guerrero, I mean, it's not the same stuff, but it was stuff he wore in AAA back in Mexico.
AAA, that's where it was.
But man, Miz, love him or hate him, but dude, this guy is just a workhorse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he does whatever that company wants him to do, which, I mean, he's headlining like one WrestleMania, but like, the guy is just always there. And like, Logan Paul, I gotta give him credit. He's no Bad Bunny, but fuck. He kind of seemed like he belonged in that wrestling ring. I thought it was a very fun match, but yeah, man, I was at the WrestleMania where Ray won his first, whatever time it was. I think it was the SmackDown Championship. So I've always got a place for Rey Mysterio, and God, that guy is... How old is this dude? He's got to be in his 50s, right?
Right?
Yeah, hold on. Hey, Jamie, can you fact check that?
I mean, I remember him wrestling like at the 96 Halloween Havoc.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guy, you can count on it's so weird. You can count on the Miz to put on like a match that at least does
47.
47. Wow.
47.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 10 years younger than the main eventer of this year of Saturday's main event.
Yeah. And it's crazy to think, like, I remember storylines with Eddie Guerrero and Ray with little Dominic. Like, who's the father storyline. I mean, that was, I legit, like, remember watching that storyline. I remember those matches, like, and then now this kid is all grown up and he's won the tag titles, I believe, with his dad already, and they go to WrestleMania together. Like, I mean, and you're right, with Logan Paul, he did take to the ring pretty well. How do you guys feel about him coming back and doing more work? Or would you rather see just a once and done?
He feels like a Stephen Amell right now. Like, it was a fun... I'm totally sorry, DeAndre. I didn't mean to interrupt you, man.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I just feel like I don't think he can go any more up than he did at WrestleMania. I think anything now is going to be a step down. Mm-hmm. I bought like a $5 million Pokemon card to wear to fucking WrestleMania. Like, cool.
Yeah.
But I just don't think... I just think and he's not even like a big celebrity right now. Like, he's just some YouTuber that fights once in a while. I don't know. Those are just my opinions, but I think we got the best we're going to get of him, and thank God it was at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I think this is kind of as high as he can get. It'd be different if he had showed up maybe at the Royal Rumble and built up to this, then, we could have got, then maybe the lengthy run past WrestleMania might be more, appropriate if they wanted to keep it going, if he really had shown a knack to it and that the audience was really responding to him well. But given that it was pretty much a WrestleMania storyline just from point A to point B, I think this is kind of a good place for step away. Like, hey, I did this thing, did WrestleMania, more than a lot of celebrities can say that they did, and actually wrestled a match and looked competent while doing it. Other than a bit of a lack of selling of the skull crushing finale afterwards, he didn't really sell it on his face. But aside from that little flaw, he looked very well and competent in the ring. Beyond this, I could see maybe he pops in at the Royal Rumble next year as a surprise entrant. I could see that maybe happening. But I'll give him his credit. The talent is there if he did decide he wanted to do this on a semi-regular basis, because clearly he knows how to play up a heel, because he had the entire audience hating his guts, especially when he went up, when he did the Three Amigos, stole Eddie's move, and then went 4-1 on top of it, and then went on the rope for the frog splash and did another shimmy with it. I was like, oh, you disrespectful motherfucker. Like, it absolutely, he knows how to play a heel at the very least. And if nothing else, he knows how to do that. One other quick point of correction I just wanted to make, the referee of this match is actually not Asia Smith. You are correct that Asia Smith was the first black female referee in the WWE, but the woman who actually refereed this match, her name is Daphne LaShawn. So who goes by
Aja Smith.
Do they go by the same name?
Yeah. It's the same person. That's her wrestling name. I had the article up because I wanted to make sure I got it right, and it says WWE referee Aja Smith, real name Daphne LaShawn. Took to Twitter.
Yeah, I think I actually saw her post. I just don't remember. I just don't recall exactly what match it was, but I do recall seeing her because I have been noticing, like, you do notice the same refs. We have, like, Flair, Little Nate, and then we have there's a referee who's just way too tan. I don't know. There's just some referees that are easy to point out, but then they started hiring women referees, and when you see a woman referee, it kind of sticks out. They normally have them during the women's matches. Maybe that's where I saw her. I don't know.
Like I said, I was definitely aware of it. So I'm like, I've never seen a black female referee before. So yeah, and then I looked it up, and then I saw that Daphne LaShawn, yada yada. But I didn't know she went by the name Asia Smith prior. But okay, fair enough. And was it just me? But it seems like in this pay-per-view they had women refereeing all the men's matches, or almost all the women's matches, and then men refereeing the women's matches.
Yeah, I did notice that. That was kind of weird. I don't know, just maybe switching it up.
Yeah, I mean, props to him for switching it up. It was just like I said, a little thing I just happened to notice while watching this show.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess it really doesn't have to be women, men. I mean, equal.
I kind of like the switch up, because a lot of times, one thing it kind of takes out of it is a lot of times when there's a man refereeing the match and the man tries to, interfere, or not say interfere, but, pull a wrestler back from doing something illegal, like, the heel's he's drawing that 5 count out a little too long or whatever, and then you see the heel get up in the referee's face. That doesn't happen if there's a woman in the referee position. You're not going to see a man get up in her face and do like something like that, because that's a different type of heat that you don't want.
She backed the Miz down in this match. It was fucking great, man. It was fucking awesome. Yeah. No, I thought it was really great.
Putting the Miz in his place.
Just like Maurice.
Yep. I mean, that guy has it pretty good. I mean, you think about it, you look at his page, like all the stuff he's accomplished, he's a Grand Slam champion. He's held the Money in the Bank briefcase, cashed in successfully. He's beaten John Cena at the main event of WrestleMania. 2022, he's fighting Rey Mysterio and his son with a YouTuber. And he's like, like, this guy's all over. And like you said, he is a workhorse, because I don't know if the injury was legit. He did have an injury last year, I think it was, but he was still on TV. Because he was never injured, really. He was always there. He never really took time off unless he was making a shitty Marine movie. But,
with Becky Lynch as the bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I would love to torture people and sit down and review those movies.
I'm game. I'm fucking game.
Just break down a bunch of WWE films and talk about how good or how terrible they really are. I could see that happening in the future for sure.
As long as we involve Suburban Commando.
Yeah, that definitely counts.
Counts, man.
That definitely counts. There's 2 wrestlers in that movie.
Undertaker and Hogan.
Ah, shit, you knew it. You knew it. You knew about Undertaker.
And Christopher Lloyd. I was frozen today.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You're taking me back to the 90s. I love that movie.
It's
All right.
a great movie, yeah.
All right, moving on. The 4th match. Finally get some women's matches here. We get the man, the champion, Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. And Bianca Belair walked out with the gold. And
Just like
Dre, I know you're a happy man right now.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
The floor is yours, man. The floor is yours.
Hey, I was just gonna say, first things first, this was my match of the night. And that's not just because the person I was rooting for the most came out as the winner. I thought this match was absolutely excellent from start to finish. And They did an excellent job of telling a story. Like, I know some people may have been apprehensive, because we talked about it in the previous episode, being a little bit apprehensive about Bianca Belair winning the title at 2 back-to-back WrestleManias. Mm-hmm. But I think what made this one different is that this one told a different story from last year in terms of Bianca Belair's character development. See, last year, it was Bianca Belair was the quickly rising star who was basically riding her momentum all the way to the title over Sasha Banks, and what was, a great match, not taking away from last year's match, because that match was great and it arguably an iconic match, definitely one for the history books last year. I mean, hell, the damn thing won an ESPY. So, that was the story of last year's WrestleMania for Bianca Belair, was her being the rapidly rising star ascending to win their first title. This year, on the other hand, especially the storyline as I see it with Bianca Belair from SummerSlam, was being quickly humbled. She held down the company. She was the champ. And then it's like as soon as the A-lister starts to come back, Bianca Belair is quickly humbled by Becky Lynch at SummerSlam. And now she has to work her way back up to get there. And she's pretty much spent all of the rest of that year and all through this year up to Elimination Chamber working her way back up and basically having to go through practically everybody else on the roster in that spot just to get back to try to get back what she had lost previously. And then going into this match, even though I personally thought she was the way going into this match, the way that they told the story was that Bianca Belair was almost not on Becky Lynch's level as far as the way the storyline played out in the match. Because it seemed like at any point that Bianca Belair tried to get some offense, Becky Lynch had a counter. She was almost all offense for most of the match. And Becky Lynch looked stronger than Bianca Belair. She looked like the superior athlete. So this was a story of Bianca having to step her game up and having to actually genuinely overcome a obstacle that was greater than her in order to prove herself not just as a champion, but as a true top women's wrestler in the company. And to me, that's the difference in this storyline versus last year. And I did a great job of telling that storyline through this match. And double bonus points for her coming out to the HBCU marching band of Texas Southern, which me as someone who attended an HBCU, I absolutely lived for this moment. And her outfit also is in contention for outfit of the night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wayne, what was it like with the band there?
Well, we couldn't tell what they were playing until they started the second verse of a song.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice. As someone in New Orleans we have Mardi Gras parades, and every parade has 15 bands in it. I like the bands better than the actual parade most of the time. So it was good to see a band at WrestleMania, like a marching band at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I loved it. Bianca, she showed out for the culture.
Mm-hmm. I think Becky pulled up in what, a Lambo?
No. She pulled up in a.
Oh no, I know. Yeah, that's right. I know who pulled up in the Lambo. Never mind. Who spoilers?
That was nice too.
Oh God. Actually, I heard Baron Corbin or Happy Corbin was supposed to be coming out in a car, and it didn't start. I heard that's what a lot of people saw. They saw him get into a car that was parked. I think it was I want to say like a Rolls Royce or something he was supposed to roll out in, and there was something wrong, and he ended up not going out in the car. I'm guessing that's just
started.
Yeah, something like somebody had the freaking keys. The guy who had the keys was in the bathroom or something. But yeah, something, because they had a lot of cars, and I like it. I love when they incorporate, cars. I remember there was a WrestleMania where John Cena drove through some glass.
23?
Yeah. You got that big stage, make use of it. Don't just have a single individual walking out on this grand stage. It kind of makes them look small. So yeah. You're going to go through the trouble of putting up a stage that big? Yeah, make the most of it.
Yeah, especially when these guys have enough space to ride something down the ramp. Because we all know, like, these WrestleManias are all about like you said, the grand stage, the big stage, the long ramps. I mean, we've seen some long Royal Rumble ramps, but WrestleMania is always, that's a long walk. And, one thing I used to like as a kid is watching the Ultimate Warrior. That music, it would dun 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 dun, and it would just get you so amped up, and he would just run down that ramp, and he would run around the ring and shake the ropes, and by the time the match started, he was damn near out of breath. He's exhausted. We've seen like in some Royal Rumbles where these guys get taken down in golf carts, because it's such a long walk.
Andre, we're looking at you.
Yeah, we're looking at you and Big Show. And there was the one where Sasha Banks also took a golf cart down to the Rumble because she's the boss. I mean, Paul, what'd you think? What'd you think of this match?
And all I know is DeAndre, you're my guy right now, man. And I got no shame in saying this. This should have main evented night 2. This was the match, I think, of the entire weekend. The spectacle, the story, this was worthy of the WrestleMania stage. From the entrances, the story told, and I mean, DeAndre, Bianca's your girl, right? Becky's my fucking girl. Like, Becky could come into my house with my kids right now and she could like take a crap on my floor and say it was my son. And I would believe her. Even though I saw her do it. I still say she is this generation's Stone Cold. I think she put herself in a different class above someone like Charlotte Flair. She understands the business. This loss does not hurt Becky Lynch at all.
I 100% agree. I was gonna bring that up too. Like, that's when you know a match is great, is when the person loses and they don't look any weaker in a loss.
No, and I'm sure Becky might go to like the mid card of the women's division, but that's gonna strengthen the women's division. But she's called Big Time Bex for a reason. And so, full disclosure, I'm a kindergarten teacher at an all-black school in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and for the longest time, it's been boys with John Cena backpacks. For maybe the past year, all my girls and all the girls, like a lot of the girls in the school, come in with a real long braid because they want to be like Bianca, and like the marching band, it felt like a John Cena match. Like I remember that match at WrestleMania where he had all the lookalikes come out and kind of do the "you can't see me" thing. Like it felt like this felt like a big time spectacle. And DeAndre hit on the head. The story, like I felt like a lot of matches lacked the story, and this one just told like like of the veterans scared to lose her place and the challenger who had it and felt like she kind of squandered it and now is looking for redemption. It was just all around fucking awesome. And we got callbacks to SummerSlam with like the backhandle slam or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning of the match, like, oh shit, is this the way it's going to go again? And I mean,
and then she kicks out of it. And so then you immediately know that, okay, Bianca has kind of stepped up and like, she's learned from her mistake. Like, this is not going to go the way you thought last time. Yeah, I agree with you. Like,
oh, DeAndre, it was like buckle the fuck up, right? Like,
right.
We're in for a show, and goddamn, the psychology of both these wrestlers to like work the crowd. My biggest fear was Bianca was going to get booed out of the building just because of how popular Bex is, and that did not happen. Like, she is a fantastic heel, and Bianca plays a fantastic babyface. Again, I mean, I think this could be the main event of night 2. I think this could be the show closer. I adored this match.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely think so. It was definitely a great match. I mean, they went 19 minutes 10 seconds, which was plenty of time. I mean, not a lot of people on that card got over 10 or 15. So
and not one dry moment
got
in the whole match.
Not one.
And like, you're right. They had a great story. Like, even to the point where, like, I thought they were going to cut Bianca's hair. And I was like, no. And then it turned around and they cut Becky's hair, which I totally didn't see coming. To the point where, like, I ran over to the room and woke my girlfriend up who works at a hair salon. And I said, you won't believe what they just did. And she's sleeping. And I woke her up. And I was like, they just cut Becky's hair. And she woke up and sat up like, they did what? And I was like, oh my God, you won't believe it. I'm like, I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah. And when they did that on Raw, that made me nervous as hell.
Yeah.
Because I was nervous because I thought they were going to, that was like a signal for a Bianca Belair heel turn. And I was like, I don't want that. She does not need a heel turn at this point. Like, she's still working her way up. Don't have her go over the top as a heel. And then I was also concerned because a lot of times, especially going into WrestleMania, whoever comes out on top at the going home show is a lot of times the person who loses at WrestleMania.
Yes.
So, yeah, Bianca coming out, getting like the last upper hand going into the pay-per-view made me nervous that she was going to lose as well. So, yeah.
That was a good swerve then. That's something that none of us, this is one of those where we thought they were going through the motions again. Like, okay, we've seen this play out before. In most feuds, we know what happens, Like, sometimes, like, I always used to say, if you're the challenger, never touch the title. It's bad luck. If you touch the title before the match, I feel like it's bad luck. If you're getting over on a guy and you're touching that title and holding it over his head, I just feel like that's bad luck and you never win. Guys who climb the ladder and grab their briefcase before Money in the Bank, during promos, bad luck. Those guys don't win. Those guys don't get over the next night. Things like that we would see in motion, and yeah, this was one of them. And being a guy with long hair, when I saw how much they were cutting from her, I was like, that's a little too much. Okay, stop. I mean, that's way more than I pull out of my freaking comb every day. Me going bald like every other guy. So, like, yeah, that was a lot of hair. But Becky, like, the next night she had a really good haircut. I was like very surprised. I mean,
props to her stylist for making it work, and props to Becky Lynch for being okay with that,
and being able to pull that off too, because her hair isn't like really short; it's still long. Mm-hmm. She was able to pull off a really cool look, and totally changed up her gimmick. She
is so
like
fucking
her look.
Sexy, man. Becky Lynch is so fucking hot. Maybe that's the ginger in me, but she is so. She could be fucking bald, man. I don't give a fuck. She is so goddamn hot.
Gotta fight your wing.
I'm not worthy. And I mean, like they find such a great way to keep the hair relevant, like how they can use it as an asset to Bianca and also as like a disadvantage. Mm-hmm. Like, I think it's, and I mean, I totally hate to, like, I don't know, but like one thing, especially being a teacher in Milwaukee here for like 10 years, one of the most like important things, or like not important, but like hair. Like I know, like if a 4-year-old comes in my classroom with their hair all done nicely, they better go home with that hair looking nice, or I'm gonna fucking hear it. You know what I mean?
Especially a black woman's hair.
Like I'm fucking counting like the little like fucking, you know, like little clips in their hair. Like, okay, you're going home. You came in with 25. You're going home with 25. I don't give a shit if I have to scour the recess yard. But
keep a stash in the drawer.
Yeah, well, exactly. But like, I think they're real. Like, yeah, I just love what they're doing. I did not know. I had my kids watching this, so I had the volume low. I did not know that was like an HBCU marching band. That's fucking great. It just adds so much more like heritage and tradition to like kind of now like the lore of Bianca Belair. And I would not be surprised if we see these two main event next year's WrestleMania.
Yeah, I would not be surprised either. Like I said, I love that Bianca Belair shows out for the culture. I appreciate that so much about her. And also, like I said, I believe, and this might be a bit of a hot take, but they could argue Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch, when it's all said and done.
Rock and Stone Cold.
Yes, exactly. They could be the Rock and Stone Cold of women's wrestling.
DeAndre, I'm divorced, but I'm willing to make, you know, like I'm willing to go the distance with you, man.
I can absolutely see it. They can be like the greatest women's rivalry since Trish and Leah, and they could be a Rock and Stone Cold for women's wrestling. 100%. Absolutely. Because not in addition to just being great personalities, because they're both gold on the mic. Bianca Belair has definitely shown that she is good on the mic. Becky Lynch is gold on the mic. They can be that next great classic rivalry where they might not always wrestle all the time against each other, but you know, anytime their paths cross, it's on sight.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they're two like best friends. Maybe you don't talk for like a year and a half, but when you do, it's like time hasn't existed. You're just back in the swing of things. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's the two of them in the ring. Like they just have that it thing. Like fucking keep this going. But like I think we have a rising star. Like I think this cemented that Bianca Belair is no longer a rising star. She is the star. And I think it just shows that Lynch is like that seasoned veteran that knows the business and knows who to put over and ain't gonna make any complaints about it.
Right, because she knows her spot is solidified, no matter what. Like, I mean, hell, look at it. She lost the title at this year's WrestleMania, but she's like one of the prime featured people on the promo for next year's WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's like face WrestleMania next year.
She doesn't have Charlotte Flair's ego. Like, that's what makes her cool, is that, like, you just know everything's authentic with her. Like, you know, like, when the thing with Charlotte Flair happened, I'm like, oh, she used her clout to get the W at Mania. Like, fuck this.
Yeah, it is kind of a weird dynamic between the two, given that, based upon accolades, Charlotte Flair would be arguably the greater star, but the eye test would point you towards Becky Lynch.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, do you contribute that to, like, kind of we're way past the kayfabe part of this now, where, like, everything's out in the open, we kind of know all the backstage stuff, like, what was that, not too long ago when Charlotte Flair, like, threw the title on the ground? We all knew that we all knew straight up disrespect. Like, and we knew that Becky Lynch handled herself as the pro she is. Like, I think that's why she's, you know, like, Charlotte Flair can be called the greatest of all time, but, like, for the fans, and especially, like, you know, like, the true fans, the ones that read the dirt sheets, like, we know who the actual real star is, and that's someone that's going to put over Becky Lynch. That's someone, or I mean, Bianca Belair. That's someone that's going to put over the new talent. And I don't see Charlotte Flair ever doing that. And she didn't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she got the W at WrestleMania when she could have gave it to Ronda Rousey. I mean, it's just night and day between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair.
Exactly.
And we will get to that.
Like, spoilers. Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
Sorry,
But we will
God
get to
damn
that.
it.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Wild card.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
wild
wonder.
card.
Yeah. I wonder if Charlotte and Ronda were watching this match thinking to themselves, "Fuck,
Yeah,
you
you
gotta go out and try to top this."
Yeah. To have
You
to
know what,
follow
Deion?
something like that.
You know what, DeAndre? It was probably like Jericho and Triple H watching Rock and Hogan at 18. Like, oh, fuck.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it.
Wayne, do you wanna chime in? Anything else?
Not that much I have to say. Bianca had the biggest pop of the night. Well, the second biggest pop of the night.
Yeah.
I'll say. Well, third.
Uh,
I'm thinking about another person, but third biggest pop of the night.
Actually, I meant to ask you before we started. Did you watch it at all when you went home? Because I know being there, not hearing the commentary, just from where you're sitting, it's a whole different experience than what we're seeing at home. What's being edited out or black screen because there was a wardrobe malfunction. We miss some things, but I don't know how much you watched when you got home. Did you watch just certain matches or what? Because that's a lot to rewatch.
Hotel at 3 a.m, so we didn't watch anything.
Mm-hmm. You kind of all wrestled out, right? Like that's enough. I don't need to relive it again. And you know what I mean? I kind of understand it. Cause even I told my girlfriend, I was like, yeah, after tonight, I can take a break from wrestling for a few days. She goes, you got AEW tomorrow, right? I'm like, fuck! Just never escapes. It's every day.
Damn it, woman.
Damn it, why do you remind me? I finally scrubbed NXT 2.0 off my schedule.
Stop being the reasonable one in this relationship.
Now.
Yeah, I know. I was tempted to put NXT on, but then it would distract me if Mandy Rose was on. Excuse me, what? We were doing a podcast? Sorry.
Do you mind if I ask DeAndre a question? And I don't mean to.
I love it when people on my podcast love just randomly interviewing other people. No, go for it.
Is that sarcasm? Because I can shut up.
I have tons of sarcasm. Yes, absolutely, man. Go for it. I love it.
DeAndre, do you think this match would have benefited even more if Aja Smith was the referee for this match?
Ooh.
I don't know if it would have made a difference because in this match itself, the focus was so much on the two competitors. I don't know if her being in there as a black referee would have added anything to it. Maybe if any match would have benefited from having a black woman referee it would have been last year's match between Bianca and Sasha Banks.
Okay.
If that were all three black women in it, that could have been special in a moment. But this match itself, no, I don't think it would have made a difference regardless of who the referee was.
All right, cool. Thanks for answering that. I hope that wasn't too sorry.
No. I get where you're going with it.
Awesome. God, I got this match on right now, and this is just fucking. This is
same. I'm playing it again in the background too, and yeah, it's like I said, just not a single dry moment in the whole match. If I had to pick anything to nitpick about it, and I mean this is just the slightest of nitpicks, it would be maybe two moments from Bianca herself that I thought were just slightly breaking of the narrative. And that would be when she was, after she took the big bump on the ring steps and she was out of the ring for damn near a whole 10 count. The fact that she was
ran into the ring.
Right, the way she sprung up so quickly, that was a little bit game breaking, I would say. Because she was practically down, it seemed like out for the count up until the referee said 9. And then 9 all of a sudden pop up immediately into the ring. She could have maybe done a little bit better job of selling that and made that more of a gradual thing of getting back into the ring rather than it being so sudden. And then also the finish of the match where she did the spring off, where again, she seemed like she was just down and out and then did the quick counter of the backflip and then into the KOD. It was just a little quick and sudden, but again, that's just the most minor of nitpicks. And I'm really not even that big of the finish isn't even really that big of a deal to me. Like, because we get surprise finishes and like sudden finishes all the time, so that's not even that big of a deal. But the near 10 count, that one was just a little thrown off. And
Do you know what?
I was just gonna say, yeah, I just saw the moment where Becky Lynch got the shiner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not Becky Lynch. Yeah, well, Bianca got the shiner from Becky Lynch when she did the flip off the rope, and yeah, freaking Bianca ate that foot straight to the face.
Yeah.
And
yeah, she did.
Yeah, she posted on her IG. She had a mean black eye.
Yeah, we'll talk about that the night after or on Monday night. Yeah, that showed. Do you know what impressed me a lot? When she does like springboard moves, how she grabs her hair before she does it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like all the time when I'm watching her, I'm like, oh god, like I hope your hair doesn't get caught there. I hope you don't somebody step on it. You know what I mean? Like she's very good with it.
Yeah, she's very conscious and aware of it.
And we were also wondering, like, you know, when I had people over, I'm like, do you guys think she's gonna do the whip again, where she whips Becky? And I think not this time because they did it during the build-up. I felt like they didn't need to do it again. You know, they did it last year to Sasha, right?
Right.
We don't need to see it again.
The first time they did it.
And with the outfit that Becky was wearing, I mean, if she was in slobber, I guess her legs would be the more effective spot anyway. But
yeah, it might not have
with the outfit.
well. And plus, if you do it again at the second WrestleMania, then it starts to become cliche and gimmicky. So
exactly.
I was about to say, if anybody goes after Becky Lynch's attire, I'm gonna write a strongly worded email to you because that's my attire of the night, man.
Mm-hmm.
But again, she's like my ginger goddess, so there it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say for Becky Lynch, as someone who ain't got no booty, she was showing some cheek in the match.
Yo, that was like topic of conversation for a hot minute in my living room. Just y'all know what we're talking about.
Okay, Rebecca, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, we did get a better view than Wayne probably did on the TV, but yeah, let's move on because we could seriously talk about this match all day.
Yeah, man,
it is because it's that good. But next match, we had Seth freaking Rollins. First thing, we didn't know. We took a lot of guesses, and I think from our last episode, we were 100% right. It was, well, I guess let me set the stage. Seth Rollins comes out in a blue, it looked like a mix of like it looked like he was rummaging around like Charlotte Flair's like closet, I guess, right? Like looking around. But I didn't understand the outfit. I knew it was resembled somebody else. It was cosplaying somebody. I forget who though, if anybody can recall.
I don't know who, but when I saw it, I thought Trish Stratus vibes. Trish Stratus got an empty hanger in her closet somewhere.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Like, man, Seth, I was like, that looked like a Flair thing.
The competition for outfit of the night was fierce.
Yeah. So they he comes in, he does his entrance, you know, and then he you know takes his robe off, and it's like I'd say close to a full minute, at least that's what I think it was. Then the lights go out, and to me, when the lights went out, I was thinking one of two things. I was thinking the Fiend. For a split second, I was thinking the Fiend. But then the music hits. Kingdom hits. And whose music is it? It's the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And he is back in the WWE. I want to get Wayne here first. What was it like when the lights went out and that music hit?
When the lights went out and the power went off, the crowd went crazy. Because Who could it be? Undertaker, The Fiend, Goldberg? We don't know. And then when Cody's music came out, and he said, there is room for more than one wrestling family, whatever. That's when the crowd went crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he stood in that ring for a while, you know, before you know, he actually started that match. I don't know if you guys saw real quick. There was a part where Seth threw his robe over the rope right as the pyro was going off, and it looked like it scared the shit out of him. I don't think he was prepared for that pyro to go off. Actually, in the past like 3 days, both WrestleManias and Raw, they've been having pyro issues with timing. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that. It's been happening with a lot of matches and a lot of promos. Somebody should get fired. That's all I'm saying. Because like they've kind of ruined some good moments. Even on Monday night, you know, Cody Rhodes comes back and there was a part where he posed for his pyro and didn't go off as planned. I was really happy to see Cody Rhodes back in the WWE. I think I forget. Was it 6 years? He hasn't been at WrestleMania.
Yeah, 6.
Something like
6
that.
years,
6. Yeah.
6 years since he last was in the WWE.
Yeah, and like
so in Dallas.
Yeah, and his entrance, like the camera angle we got on TV was like shot low, so you saw him just coming out of the ground, just rising out of it, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Because when he left, he was Stardust. He left, he was a mid-carder. He was in the tag teams for a while. He was in the mid-cards. And then he left and became a main event star. He became bigger and came back bigger. And I thought he was the perfect person for Seth Rollins. There was also a part where he was coming out and he took his belt off and his weight belt and he gave it to a kid. And I think it was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like, you lucky son of a bitch. I'm like, that kid, just keep it, man. Don't take it to eBay. Just keep it. Trust me, keep it. Yeah, because the kid already had like an Intercontinental belt, I think, and he gave him another one. I was like, that's cool, because Cody did hold that belt. That's probably why I thought he may have given it to him. He's like, I used to hold that nice Intercontinental belt, which they don't have anymore. Because now we have a very ugly one.
That we do.
At least I think so. I love this match. You know, I'm not doing ratings tonight on matches, but this would definitely be, you know, like 4-star for me. This is kind of a match I've wanted to see for a while, at least with both of these guys at this caliber. You know, Seth Rollins accomplishing everything he has done, and you know, Cody Rhodes accomplishing everything he has done in AEW. Also, I wanted to put out there, I was very surprised Brandy wasn't with him. I don't know if anybody else was expecting that. I kind of was. I thought she may have gotten signed too, but I think there may be some bad beef when she left. I'm not quite sure. We did see Seth Rollins attempt to do the pedigree. Because we know that the curb stomp is protected pretty well. So he attempted to do the curb stomp several times, didn't really succeed. Because once I see the curb stomp, I'm like, you know, you're done. Nobody kicks out of the curb stomp. They protect it pretty well. So once I saw that, you know, Cody was ducking that a couple of times, I was like, okay, you have to definitely give it to Cody. We saw Cody hit the crossroads. Well, I think he did hit the pedigree at some point, and then yeah, Cody hit the crossroads. I believe 3 times.
Yeah.
To end the match, which I thought was cool. Like, you know, gone down because the first time he kicked out, but you know, he was like, "I'm gonna finish you," and you know, for insurance, I want to put you down again.
Yeah,
you know,
he hit him with 2. Then he was going to go for a third one. Stopped, mixed in a little dream shuffle. And then
yeah,
hit
that's
with a
right.
third one for
yeah,
the
which
3.
I liked, which I loved.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a great match overall. Paul, what did you think of this match?
Man, so spoilers to probably one of the most grossing movies of all time, but I mean, you know, like, it was kind of like people saying, oh, Toby and Andrew aren't going to be in the Spider-Man movie. I think the worst kept secret was Cody was going to be Rollins' opponent. And I mean, you know, AEW has done a good job of you know, bringing in the WWE guys, but man, did WWE just say, hold my beer. This is how we're going to bring in one of your guys. I think, especially for where it happened, I got, like, it felt like a love letter to the Rock Austin end of the trilogy WrestleMania matches at 19 with him hitting the 3 crossroads, you know, to finish it off, especially knowing who was going to be in our main event of the night. Like, it felt like a love letter to Stone Cold. And again, Rollins is a fantastic company man, because this doesn't hurt him. Like, his loss here, he can still come on, like, on SmackDown or whatever and be like, I'm in the title hunt. And you're like, yeah, this dude's dangerous. But I think they put on a fantastic match. My only nitpick is I wish the ring announcer before the American Nightmare would have said, and the grandson of a plumber. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Because you get, like, I mean, there's no doubt about it. That would have been a nice touch. There's no doubt about it that, like, he is kind of doing the whole, like, a whole tribute to Dusty Rhodes. And I'm all for this return. I thought this match was pure fire. I think this is the match you put on after Bianca and Becky, because any other match I think would have faltered after that fucking masterpiece. And this, I think this at least, I mean, I'm sure Wayne will talk about it, but I feel like this at least kept the crowd into the show, because sometimes, like I remember the pay-per-view where the Hardys came back and won it in a ladder match, and the crowd was dead after it. Like, this kept it up. Like, this kept up the momentum that Becky and Bianca did, and I think this was probably the second best match of the night.
Yeah, I'm mostly in agreement with you. If it had it not been for the fact that we were getting Stone Cold on night 1, this could have easily been the last match of the night and ended on a very high note. It was a great match.
I agree.
Yeah, it started off a little bit slow. Like, I guess maybe they were trying to, you know,
soak it in,
get a feel for each other. Like, I'm not sure how much Rollins and Rhodes got to work together, planning out their match beforehand, or most of this was on the fly. But yeah, it's kind of started off a little bit rough, but then once they kind of found their groove, then yeah, the match was just hitting on all cylinders from then on out. And
right, it went 21 minutes 40 seconds, and yeah, you're right. Like, this could have been the last match. If you would swap it with whatever's, you know, the women's match next, it would have been the women's with Charlotte and Ronda could have definitely been the buffer between the two, you know. Right. But to go from like this, from, you know, the women's match right to this, I mean, that's a lot of adrenaline, a lot of excitement, you know, and then, you know, the next match kind of brings you down, and then we're back up again, you know?
Yeah.
So the night's kind of up and down.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the gamble you take with booking, because, you know, they can have it in their head that they think that, you know, things are going to go a certain way, but you can never really know how the audience is going to react. You know, maybe they thought that the audience was really going to be all in for Ronda Rousey because of her name, but, you know, and maybe perhaps they underestimated just how much people were really into or looking forward to being invested in the Belair Becky Lynch match. I don't know how they could have misjudged that, but it is what it is. And I will say, I will give props to the WWE for really making Cody Rhodes feel like a big deal coming back. Because for anybody who may have had any, because obviously, like you said, Paul, it was the like worst kept secret in wrestling. Everybody knew Cody Rhodes was with WWE. We had talked about it in the last episode, speculating on when Cody Rhodes would actually show up, whether we thought he would show up the Monday night before or WrestleMania of or what have you. But for anybody who may have thought that Cody Rhodes' return would not be a big deal or would have been like lukewarm, the WWE put that all to rest just with the presentation of his return, from the spectacle of the lights and the video to his entrance. And that camera shot of him rising up, it was top notch. Immediately makes him look like a big deal.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
Just some wide shot that he just walks out from behind the curtain. They clearly went all in and saying like, yo, you're back. You signed a multi-year deal. And, we're going to treat you like the big deal that you have worked hard to make yourself in the 6 years that since you've left us. And so props to them for, respecting him and respecting the work that he's put in away from the WWE.
You're right, man. I guess a lot of us were worried, what character he'll be coming back as. Because sometimes when these guys come back, they sometimes get recycled right back into the system. They get their same music and their same gimmick back that didn't work the first time. That's why I left, or got fired. Sometimes they try to recycle it again and it doesn't work. And, I didn't have a shadow of a doubt that they were going to make him Stardust. I wasn't like, definitely Stardust all the way. I wasn't like betting on it. So I'm really glad. Yeah, you're right. During that entrance, that first 30 seconds of that entrance showed us that they care. They give a shit, and they're gonna give us the American Nightmare. They're gonna give him what looked like a lot of freedom from his promo that he gave on Monday. Now that he brought his music from AEW, it just makes me think he has a lot more freedom to do some stuff. And I kind of hope this feud with Seth Rollins isn't over, because I want to see a little bit more of this. But I think he's also looking at maybe going right to the top and going right for a title shot. What I was thinking after that match was, what kind of deal did he fucking sign? How many zeros were written on that check? Because it goes both ways. He's a big asset to that company, but he's a very valuable person outside of WWE as a free agent.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to, go free sign with AEW, but I heard there was a little button heads between him and Tony Khan, but business is business.
Yeah. Well,
Man.
go ahead.
Oh no, I'm totally sorry. I did not mean to interrupt you.
Oh, I thought you had something to say. I was the only thing I was going to say, I've heard that he signed a multi-year deal, so he's not. This isn't like a brief run. He's in it for the long haul, and I believe he absolutely, whatever dollar amount is in his contract, is absolutely 7 figures, and I think it shows in the entrance that that he got at WrestleMania. They understand what he's done in the 6 years since he left. And I don't think Cody Rhodes would have came back as if he was just like some guy without a job. There's a difference between being a free agent and being a guy looking for a job. Cody Rhodes is not just like a guy looking for a job because, oh, damn, the company I was with didn't want me anymore, and now I'm just out here just looking for a gig to make a check. He's like, no, I'm Cody motherfucking Rhodes. I made myself a bigger name without you than you ever did, than I ever was when I was with you. So for all intents and purposes, I don't really need you. So if you want me, you have to come to the table and make it worth it for me to sign with you. And that means putting up the money. So he's definitely got a 7-figure deal, being treated with the respect and respecting the name that he's built for himself outside of the WWE. and all that was shown from what we've seen of him in WrestleMania and the Monday Night Raw afterwards. Like I said, if they would have came up with him in the meetings like, oh, we're thinking about bringing back the Stardust gimmick, he would not be in WWE right now.
Yeah,
He would have
said,
told them. Hey, go ahead.
Oh, he said that. He said it at the press conference on Sunday night. He said that Vince and Bruce Prichard flew out to Atlanta to meet with him, and the first thing in his contract was Stardust is dead. That's the first clause in his contract. Is Stardust is not a character ever to be referenced ever.
Good.
And that's
dead.
That's the beauty of having competition in professional wrestling right now. That's the beauty of having a legitimate number two,
right?
That wrestlers can go to. Because now that WWE isn't the only game in town, wrestlers now have more leverage. Because they know if they can't get what they want in the WWE, they can go to AEW, make a name for themselves there, and then when they come back and make themselves more valuable as their own independent name, so that way when the WWE does eventually come knocking, or the WWE does eventually express interest in them again, saying, hey, you want to re-talk about joining? That wrestler now brings much more to the table, and they have a much stronger hand in negotiations. And that's just good for the wrestlers all around.
Man,
right. And
going off of that, I was so worried of like a Triple H versus Sting thing where McMahon was going to swing his 77-year-old dick around and be like, you were
he did, but just not in the
bury him.
Yeah, I thought Cody was gonna lose just because he was like, that was my biggest fear. But goddamn, this is also on in the background. This had some of the greatest spots of the night, man. Yes. Like, when Cody went to do the suplex outside and fucking Rollins reversed it into his own suplex. And then the power bomb into the barricade. Holy fuck.
That one hurt. Oh, I want to interrupt here for a split second. What the hell was Corey Graves wearing? He looked like Gumby.
The Riddler from Batman Forever.
I thought the Riddler too. Dude, this guy walks in front of a green screen. He's just gonna be a floating head and hands. I was like, dude, St. Patrick's Day is over. What the hell, man? Okay, anyway, go ahead.
No, but that was my biggest worry. We're gonna get everybody from WCW that came in after, they folded, DDP got buried, fucking Sting got buried, everybody got fucking buried. I'm like, oh, Vince is gonna Vince. Right, Cody's gonna get fucking killed here, and thank God for. I'm thinking maybe Triple H be like, nah, man, we got to do this. We're gonna go all in on this, and I would not be surprised if also in that contract, along with the 7 figures, is a lengthy title run.
Yeah,
something his dad never did. I think that's what we're gonna see.
Yeah, he's absolutely going to be champion at some point. They would be absolutely fools. I don't know if he does it in the first year. I think it might be cool. Maybe they build up towards WrestleMania next year. He gets the title. Who knows? But yeah.
Well, one thing I'm happy about is the way they've treated him coming in, and I hope now other guys who are in AEW who were considering maybe my contract's gonna be running out soon, now that they've seen how somebody who came from AEW has been treated, and there was a lot of beef. At least I thought so. There was, if you guys remember, Cody's entrance with the throne that he broke with the sledgehammer.
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder who that's towards.
Gilbert.
Right. Gilbert. There was just a couple things I was just like, oh man, I bet they have to bury some shit. But now I hope that other wrestlers who are in AEW who saw that look like, well, if he can go over and bury the hatchet and, look how they're treating him, maybe they'll do the same with us. So I'm hoping Jericho comes back. We were talking about MJF going over there.
It's definitely in the WWE's interest to treat Cody Rhodes with respect. Because like you said, other AEW stars. Their contracts may be expiring, and they may be I'm pretty sure they're all keeping one eye on WWE to see how they treat Cody. And yeah, if he's given the respect that he deserves, yeah, wrestlers may be more keen to consider what WWE has to offer if they come to them and show interest. And that's a hand that WWE can play. It's like, hey, you see what we did for Cody? We can do the same thing for you. Whether they actually do it or not when they get him is another story. But at the very least, they can pitch that.
Mm-hmm. Man, this was a great match.
No.
Yeah, like I said, they went on for 21 minutes, 40 seconds. It's the longest match of the night.
Two of the best sellers in the business too.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else got anything to chime in about this match before we move on?
No, I think we just covered it all. Like I said, great match. Could have been the closer of the night had it not been for Stone Cold.
Yep. All right. Oh man. Moving on. All right. Charlotte as a champion, SmackDown Women's Champion versus Ronda Rousey, Royal Rumble winner from this year. We've seen these two tangle before. I think Charlotte's always gotten the upper hand over Ronda, right? They did go against each other at WrestleMania before, but it was a triple threat with Becky, and Becky got over on both of them. Me and Jake were both high on Charlotte winning this, and we kind of got what we wanted. I had thoughts that Ronda wasn't sticking around after WrestleMania. I mean, that's still untold. She could still be. I mean, we still got SmackDown, coming. She could still be hanging out. We have no idea. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing her hang out for a bit, but at the same time, I don't. This match didn't go very well. It was just for all the build up for it, all the weapons that were used, and like a car even was used again for this build up. It was just a bunch of holds. This match. I don't know. I wonder if the crowd would have booed the hell out of Ronda though if she would have won that title. Wayne, what do you think?
I don't know.
How's the crowd feeling Ronda? Because I know she didn't get any. I don't think she got any pyro.
No, she didn't. Charlotte got all the pyro because she's Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know where I wasn't in my seat during this match. I don't think.
This was the bathroom break match.
I mean, I was on my third Miller Lite by this time, so yeah.
Oh man, that's funny.
And we just saw Cody and Seth and just saw Undertaker, so like I need to go right now before Stone Cold comes out.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, does anybody need to take a bathroom break before we continue on here? Everybody good?
I'm good.
All right, that's good. Keep on trucking.
Cool. I'm drinking a lot of beer, so I'm just gonna keep on going. Yes. Yeah, Wayne, you got anything else?
Not in this match.
Yeah, not in this match. Just want to know, did you stop at a concession stand? Anyway, I wanted to ask you, what was the merchandise stand? What was you think the hot item that you saw a lot of, or a lot of people wearing?
I don't know. Second night, I saw a lot of Cody Rhodes shirts. Second night, because I think they sold out of Cody Rhodes shirts.
Yeah.
After Saturday night, but I saw a lot of Stone Cold shirts, Undertaker shirts.
Yeah. I could see those Cody Rhodes gear going real fast, especially after he actually showed up.
Yeah, and I should have bought it because I looked online right now, and the first shipment is May 10th.
Oh,
Cody Rhodes shirt.
That's awesome, though. I already got merchandise flying off the shelves. Good for him. Good for him. Yeah, I'm just I was just watching this match. It was pretty quick in the beginning, but then it just slowly works its way to hold. And we got Little Nate, they call him, as the ref. Paul, what'd you think of this match?
Yeah, this match was horse shit. This was
I love it. Honest opinion.
This was force-fed down our throats the moment she came. She was a surprise entrant in the Rumble. They put their horse behind the wrong women's championship match.
Yes.
And that was evident. I was talking before that, like, I don't think Charlotte's the type of person. I think she throws her weight around of, like, her wins and stuff, and I think she made the right call on this one, but man, this was dumb. I didn't care. Like, I cared more about, like, Rick Boogs than I did anybody else in this fucking match. I don't even know that guy. He just looks like a blown up fucking Freddie Mercury. Like, no, I did not care about this. Like, if I was Wayne, I also would have been going to the bathroom or just going to look around the stadium. Like, I don't care about this. I don't like either one of them. And like, especially with the stuff with, it kind of hit the dirt sheets the morning of that Ronda Rousey actually walked out of the Hall of Fame the night before because she found out she wasn't going on last. And she's come on and refuted that, but I mean, again, like, Andrew Garfield also said he wasn't in Spider-Man. Like, right. I think she's full of shit. I think she has an ego.
Wait, he's not in Spider-Man?
No, that was a deep fake. No, fuck this match. This is the worst match of the card. Worst match of the whole weekend. I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm. Passionate.
Yeah, this was definitely the weakest match of night one. I'm not quite as down on it as Paul was. Like, again, it wasn't a great match. Like, clearly, Ronda Rousey I guess she's as good as she's going to get as a wrestler. Especially for somebody who's probably not ever going to be full-time on the roster. You know, if she's not going to put the investment into being full-time, then obviously her skills are going to plateau at a certain point. And what we got tonight is probably about as good as she's going to be as a wrestler. So this match was very much just mediocre, like I said, especially in comparison to the classic that we got from Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch prior to this one. Like, maybe if this match had been on the second night, the glaring the differences would not be so glaring between the two matches. But the fact that they're both on the same night, you put this one on later in the card, trying to make it seem like it was a bigger deal when really y'all just did it because of the bigger name in Ronda Rousey, it just does not measure up to the match that we got before. And this one was more submission based and holds based, which, you know, depending on how it's done can look good or it can look pretty mediocre. And this one was, I would say, arguably on the more mediocre side, but I mean,
well, we saw it worked a little bit better when they added Becky. They had to add a third person to make, at that time, the match even interesting. You know? I even tweeted about it. I said, you're not bigger than Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like, know your place, part-timer. Hopefully she doesn't, like, come knock on my door and beat the shit out of me, but
Jay and Silent Bob's you.
Yeah, just shows up at my house and just starts, are you semi-dry chicken? Why, yes. Just starts beating the shit out of me. She must have also heard my tweet about her being in Fast and Furious. Awful performance in there. But, I don't know if she's gonna stick around after this. I mean, normally after you put on a shit match, you really don't want to come back and do a bunch of shows, but we don't know.
Yeah, I would say that, yeah, now that she's lost, she really kind of doesn't have much reason to stick around if she hadn't already planned to stick around past WrestleMania. I don't know if she did or not, but As far as the match itself, I felt like maybe later on in the match, it kind of did get a little bit better towards the end of the match. It was very dry and dull in the middle, but towards the end, it kind of started to pick up a little bit better, but then they kind of completely ruined whatever momentum they were gaining with the finish, which I thought was very weak with the whole referee down and then Ronda Rousey loses.
3 count. And then Charlotte put her foot on the rope, but like they did a legit 3 count.
Right.
They normally do a 2 and catch it, but Little Nate there did a full 3 count.
Yeah, he did a full 3, but then
noticed,
oh crap, the foot was on the rope, I missed it, and then they go with the whole complaining thing, and then a freaking foot to the face, and that's it. Like that's a pretty weak finish to this match, given the way everything went.
So, DeAndre, you were saying most of the match was dry, and then for a second it got semi-dry. Fuck this match. And, like, well, because, like, I mean, like, Ronda Rousey is, like, you know, she's a grappler, she's a technician, and she kind of stunk up the joint here. What does she have to go on now? Her promos? My fucking mute cousin can make a better promo than her.
Her promo, the SmackDown before, where she talked about the women's title, holy crap. Like, it was awful. Like, her promos are terrible. Like, she needs a mouthpiece.
Yeah, she needs a Heyman.
Yeah, and that's where they messed up with her. They messed up there, and they messed up with her fucking entrance music. Because Ronda Rousey should not be coming out to happy music like that. That music is... if you put that music with Brock Lesnar, just swap her music with Brock Lesnar's. Swap them. Different story. Different character.
Or now you could just have crickets chirping.
Yeah.
So you come out to it.
Pretty much. But, yeah, I mean, maybe she knew she was getting fucking buried here. Well, not buried, but she knew she was going to lose. Maybe, and then not going on last, if that's true. Because she did look like she had a bit of a bitch face when she came in, but a resting bitch face, but she normally always has that. It's a UFC thing, I guess.
Well, I mean, because on the Ellen show, like I remember seeing this thing on the Ellen show on Friday, she was talking about how she was main eventing WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Please.
She was going around telling that. I was guessing the reason why is because maybe the main event, which we did get, was such a big secret, even from her. I mean, that's possible. I mean, if you want to keep it under wraps, you really can't tell anybody but the people involved in the match. I mean, there's a lot of times where other wrestlers are kept out, completely.
Yeah.
You know,
it's just weird that she
gets out so quickly.
Yeah, it's just weird that she was noticeably absent at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I agree. Everybody else was there. Everybody else.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see her not knowing that the KO and Stone Cold thing was going to be an actual match. So maybe she was, promoting herself as main eventing WrestleMania because she genuinely thought that they were going to be the last actual match to happen, and that after that was going to be a segment. I don't know if she genuinely thought that the KO Stone Cold segment was going to happen before their match. Then again, maybe she did.
Shit's crazy, man.
I think that would be kind of naive of her to think that, they were going to throw a whole Stone Cold segment in Texas and then let these two be the last match of the night. But it is what it is.
There's some stiff fucking chops, though. Fucking Flair was chopping the shit out of Ronda. Her chest was red as hell halfway through that match. Oh. Who's that?
Happy right.
Man.
Yeah. Oh, God, we're going to get shut down.
I'm thinking Becky is saying some bullshit to Charlotte when she comes through that curtain after this match.
Just looked at her like, that's it.
Like, oh, that was cute.
That was adorable love.
Giving her that little petty clap as she walks through. Just, aw, that was nice.
Oh, A for effort. Charlotte.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna torture you guys through any more of this. Let's move on to what I think everybody wants to talk about. Everybody was excited about. Kevin Owens having the KO show main eventing WrestleMania. It's weird. At first I'm like, the KO show is going to main event? What do you mean it's going to main event? What do you mean he's just going to interview Stone Cold Steve Austin? Nah. He's not going to wrestle though, right? It's been 19 years. He's not going to wrestle. I could tell my 7-year-old godson about Stone Cold Steve Austin retired 19 years ago. You know? Or, yeah. And he's 7, dude. Like, that's not in his lifetime. But now, you got to see his last match. There was a, back and forth in the interviews. I mean, the crowd popped like hell. The roof was torn off. It sounded like the biggest pop of the night. I marked out for it. And KO told him that kind of tricked you here. It kind of tricked you into, maybe having a match. Then he took it. He accepted it. And I was like, holy shit, we're having a legit match. Stone Cold Steve Austin's what, 57? 56?
57, yeah.
57. And, he went. He took some nasty bumps. He went for 12 minutes, 15 seconds. Or wait, no, I'm wrong. 13 minutes, 55 seconds. In a no-holds-barred match. Wayne, what was it like Stone Cold coming out? And also, how does it feel to be a part of his last match? To be there in 2022?
Well, yeah, I've never seen Stone Cold in person, ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I wasn't watching wrestling, he was on wrestling, and I wasn't watching.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he got the biggest pop of the night, obviously.
Did you going in think that he was going to wrestle?
Kinda.
Mm-hmm.
It was either going to be him or a proxy, like somebody like I don't know. I don't know who could have wrestled for him. Sami Zayn, maybe.
Yeah, somebody.
Yeah,
somebody.
Breaker or somebody.
Yeah, somebody. But I didn't think it was actually going to be a match with him and Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was very surprising. I was very shocked that it happened. I was just speechless. Paul, I want to hear what you think about. I mean, you watched tons of Stone Cold Steve Austin matches back in the day. I mean, I think most of us have.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what did you think of this match after 19 years of being ring rust shaken off?
So I'm gonna kind of this is really cool to know that Wayne, his first match of seeing Stone Cold was his last.
Yeah.
And it was June 23rd of 1996. It's now called the UWM Panther Arena, but at the time it was known as the Mecca Arena in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And my uncle took me to my first wrestling event, which was the 1996 King of the Ring.
Mm.
And that is where Stone Cold uttered Austin 316. I was a little 12-year-old freckle-faced, zit-faced son of a bitch, all excited because this guy just had ass. Man, I did not know I was going to be this emotional during a match. Stone Cold, I've never seen a wrestling thing before that night, and then I was legit into it. They came back to Milwaukee in 1998 where he faced Dude Love at Over the Edge, and I've seen so many great moments. I was there the night where he shot off the bang gun and made McMahon piss his pants. Stone Cold has been the reason why I was in wrestling, and I mean, I did not think there was going to be a match, but I got super emotional, cause I mean, this is his last match. He ain't coming back. I mean, he can come back for some promos, but he's not going to work a more than 10-minute match. And I don't think he could have asked for a better partner Kevin Owens. What a gracious fucking, like, you could tell Kevin Owens was a fanboy the way he was just letting Stone Cold just take the steering wheel. And dude, Austin took a suplex onto the concrete.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck? But man, just what a fantastic send off for his last match. In the first town where he wrestled his first match, he just. I mean, I'm so Wayne. I'm so jealous of you that you got to witness his last match. I would give anything right now to be able to be there for that, to hear that glass breaking, and just like even like the KO show part itself was just like pure soap opera brilliance. Like when he's just like, I tricked you. I'm like, oh fuck, they're not gonna do this. Like no, and then like it's like Austin's looking to the crowd to be like, should I do it? And it's like, just give me that hell yeah, and I'm in. I'm like, oh man, drinking all the beer during it, like it was just.
Yeah, you're right though. He was Kevin Owens was a really good partner to pick for this because with Stone Cold not there all the way up till WrestleMania, Kevin Owens basically held the feud one-sided. Like he built the feud one-sided. He was there during the promos. It wasn't long before they started, but that was another thing. They waited to almost what we thought was the very last minute to do a build, any kind of build to WrestleMania. Like Seth Rollins was literally up to the point where he was in the ring, and then Kevin Owens was just like a week or two prior, but he still carried the promos and everything by himself, and he did very well because Kevin Owens is a badass on the microphone. I love Kevin Owens on the microphone. Give that guy a mic and tell him leave some plot points, but he'll get you there.
And I'm sorry, if that's a Roman Reigns, he's not taking the loss.
Mm-hmm.
But Kevin Owens I think Kevin Owens has a true respect for the business, and he respects where it's come from, that he's gonna put Stone Cold over in Dallas. Like, I thought it was a perfect love letter to all of us who grew up with Stone Cold. I think it was a perfect ending to his in-ring career. Like, I thought it was kind of perfect writing on the WWE's part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would just say that I was surprised that it turned into an actual match itself. Like, I thought, for one, I absolutely believed that Stone Cold was going to be involved in some physicality. Like, he wasn't just coming out there and just going to be a stun and done. So, but I was surprised that it actually went into a full actual referee ring the bell match. I thought it was just going to be Stone Cold come out and they were going to get into a brawl. And that was just going to be it. Just come out, no talking, straight action. And then that's how it was going to go. The fact that they actually went the full match route was surprising to me. I kind of felt like Kevin Owens went a little bit long with the promo thing. Like, I thought they could have gotten to it just a little bit faster, especially given all the work that Kevin Owens did leading up to the pay-per-view itself. With the whole with the promo where he came out impersonating Stone Cold, which I thought was genius on his part.
Brilliant.
Pure genius, yeah. So, given all the heavy lifting he did going into the pay-per-view of carrying the feud, I didn't think he needed to do as much on the mic for the segment, but I get it. KO show, so it was a segment, so he had to talk somewhat. I just kind of felt like it ran a little bit longer than it needed to, but once the glass broke and Stone Cold came out there and he's in the, classic gear, the shorts and once I saw the knee braces, I'm like, oh yeah, he's scrapping. That's what I knew immediately. Like, yeah, this is not going to be a stun and done. Like, he's actually going to go. And props to him for taking some of the bumps that he did.
Yeah.
Like, he actually took some legitimate bumps. Took more bumps and more damage than I thought he was going to do. Because, again, I thought it was going to be just a beat-down squash. But he did it, and he looked like he had fun. Looked like thankfully didn't hurt himself at all in the match. And sent everybody out on an extremely high note. Props to Kevin Owens. Again, another person who took an L tonight, and it doesn't hurt him at all.
Amen.
So it was all in all a great moment and excellent cap off to night one.
Man, like Kevin Owens lost, but he still won. You know,
Right.
like I mean, like what kind of deal too? Like we knew at some point like his contract was up, and there was talk about him and Sami Zayn at the time going to maybe AEW because his friends, you know, they got friends there. I totally get it. But you know, Vince just, you know, I'll pay you this much money and I'll give you Stone Cold. like what? Like, yeah, we're gonna pay him a lot of money. Which I bet they did. I bet they backed up a tractor trailer to Stone Cold's fucking ranch and dumped it all off, just all that money. Cause I'm curious, like what was it that made you say, I want to do this one more time? I got one more left in me, because we know for years, they've been barking up that tree, you know, knocking on his door, calling him, texting him, whatever, trying to get him to come back. They had tons of people we wanted to see. You know, like there was at one point I was like, well, maybe this, if CM Punk would have stayed with the company, maybe this could have been CM Punk. You know?
I think it was a perfect combination of everything that made him finally say yes. The fact that it's WrestleMania, it's in Texas, it's Kevin Owens, which is somebody that I'm pretty sure, like again, Stone Cold, he may not be active wrestling, but he's still very much connected to the company. So, you know, he's still watching the guys work, and he's seeing who can go and who's good and who he feels like he can trust himself in the ring with, you know, and feel like he can work with. Also trusting his own self to be able to go out there and perform, because like he said, he's a perfectionist, and he takes pride in what he does in that ring, and he wasn't going to go out there if he was going to put on a stinker. So I think it's just a combination of all that stuff just led him to finally saying, this is it. This is the moment where I'm confident enough and I can come back, do it here. There's a full circle moment. There's symmetry to it. I can work with this guy who I trust isn't going to hurt me in the ring, and that I can put on a good show with in this ring. And it all just lined up perfectly for him to do it.
Hello?
I'll say, did we lose everybody?
Mom, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I had myself on mute. Oh man, embarrassing. Embarrassing on my part.
You got stunned.
Oh man.
I ain't thinking what I said was that profound.
No. Yeah, very profound.
It had me move.
Oh man. Well, what I was saying is, besides the fact of how much money they both got paid, I was just wondering what words were exchanged when they were facing, you know, each other. You know, probably told them that this is gonna be the greatest day of your life. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure there's some words.
I'm pretty sure Kevin Owens gave him a good thank you for everything, and you know, obviously gave Stone Cold, you know, his respect and gave him his flowers.
Well, one thing I noticed is when Stone Cold went for the final pin, he grabbed on to Kevin Owens' left hand, and when the 3 came down, he tapped him with his index finger a couple times, which is probably like a thank you, man. Like you couldn't have asked for you couldn't have asked for a better partner in Kevin Owens that night. Man, did he make him look like $1 million.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah. So I think there was like 22 beers used in this match.
No beers were harmed.
Yeah.
On a single one of his beers in the whole city.
Really?
Yeah, I looked.
Oh man, I wonder if it's any good.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much of a beer connoisseur Rich Eisen is, but I saw Stone Cold on Rich Eisen's radio show. And he was talking about before WrestleMania. He was talking about the match leading up to it, and Rich Eisen liked it. But again, I'm not sure how much of a credible beer connoisseur he is.
Well, god dang. Sorry, I've been drinking.
Again, I ain't a big beer connoisseur either, so I
man.
couldn't tell you if it's any good. And I don't, as much as I like Stone Cold, I don't know that I'm going to go out and buy the beer and try it either.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna tell him to his face. I'll be like, "Yeah, dude, I tried it. It was awesome.
Right.
Great."
Yeah, especially
Please
after
don't stun me.
Ronda Rousey just whooped your ass for a tweet.
Yeah, right.
You don't want to press it with Stone Cold.
Just have people arriving at my house all the time. Just kick my ass. Stone Cold, Ronda Rousey. Can you please sign this? Take a picture. Okay, you can kick my ass now.
No, I think you need like a pick me up. I think you need to now tweet at like Gilbert or something.
Yeah, right. Find somebody I can get over pretty easy.
Yeah. Then Gilbert shows up with a lead pipe.
I mean, like, I have all the credentials that Logan Paul has. I have a YouTube channel. I have a Twitch. I have a podcast now. Like, I got everything he has, right? I mean, isn't that how it starts?
Do you have $1 million Charizard though?
Oh man, no, I have a Blastoise and a Venusaur, and a
Step your game
Mewtwo, and man, I know, I gotta step my game up. This fucking guy.
God damn it, DeAndre, I'm just picturing James Ellsworth like pepper spraying semi-dried chicken at his door.
Through my mail slot. Oh god! Oh god! Oh god!
Okay, I'm sorry, you're the rightful first women's Money in the Bank winner.
Oh man.
One question I do have about this match though at the end is, what the hell possessed Byron Saxton to get up and go in the ring with Stone Cold?
Yeah, I don't know, man, but
I
really did.
I was just like, why?
Vince
I did
McMahon.
enjoy the stunner he took though.
Yeah, I mean it was a funny moment. I'm just talking about like from a kayfabe standpoint, like what possessed you to get up and get in that ring?
The other funny moment is when Kevin Owens tried to get on the ATV and it wouldn't start. And then Stone Cold like basically gave him. I was like, first off, it's the funniest fucking shit I've seen all night. And secondly, you got to get a ride like a goddamn toddler, like a child, with Stone Cold Steve Austin on his ATV through WrestleMania. Kevin Owens, go fuck yourself. That's his childhood dream right there. You son of a bitch.
He sold it so good. He had the biggest
too.
look of fear in his face. This is fucking awesome.
He whips that thing around pretty quickly. Like, when he came down at first, because when he was at that big stage, when he came, I was like, dude, he should go back in his ATV. Like, there's no way he's gonna walk all the way there. Like, fuck that. And then he did, and I was dying. There was so much beer he drank. He did throw one. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I thought he would, like, when he went around the first corner, I'm like, he's fucking tilting. Like, he's going on his side.
Yeah.
Like, oh no.
Yeah, like, please don't flip this damn thing over.
Dude, like, what about to Owen Hart him. Like, what the fuck? Sorry.
Like, what's some crazy shit he probably, like, laid down, like, during the meeting to Vince? Like, I wanna drive my ATV. I wanna give the kid a ride on my ATV. And I wanna be drunk the whole time. And at the end, I want you to arrest him. just have the Texas cops just take him out. Said, yeah, and he's like, at the end, I want to enjoy a beer with my brother. Because he had his brother come in. He tossed the beer. And at first, I didn't realize who it was. But when he got in the ring, and you see, they basically look identical, you know. It's like, oh shit, that's his brother. I'm like, that's so cool. Like, yeah, this kind of send-off that they gave him, like, definitely tells you, like, it's in cement. Like, this is it. Like, that's his last match.
Right.
Like this is the perfect send-off.
Even
Better
though you know
than what we got.
Yeah. Even though you know the Saudis are overseas watching this match and just rubbing their hands like, oh, he looks nice.
Oh, I see.
How
He's thinking of
How much
money.
would it cost?
How much beer do we have to give him?
Like 22 apparently. That's all he takes.
I was hoping for a Deborah run-in.
Deborah running? I don't know about that. That's a really outdated run-in.
Fucking revenge for the assault.
Oh my god.
She comes with the lead pipe.
It's all canon. It's all canon storyline.
Can you imagine? Fucking JR calls this shit.
I wonder how The Rock feels. about this, you know, because like The Rock was originally his last match and put him down with, you know, 3 rock bottoms.
I thought about that too. I was like, damn, him and The Rock had supposedly had that special moment, and I remember like always hearing like, well, before this moment, Stone Cold talked about it in the past when he talked about his match at WrestleMania 19 with The Rock as his last match. He made a point of saying like, you know, that he believed that as a wrestler you always go out on your back. And like, you know, like that's how like they used to do it back in the day with old guys. When you're done your last match, you lose it. You go out on your back. And clearly over the years, like thinking has evolved, and that is not so much the case anymore. It's almost like they've gone the opposite way now, where, you know, your last match you almost go out on a victory dance, let people celebrate you and enjoy you, which I'd have no problem with either way. Yeah. But yeah, it did cross my mind about The Rock, but again, I'm pretty sure The Rock has no issue with it whatsoever. It doesn't take away from what their moment was.
No, not at all.
Man, even though like Kevin Owens lost, it did put him over big though, and in a big way. Like, but I want to know where he goes from here now. You know, because obviously Stone Cold's gonna go, but where does he go from here?
He's facing what's his face? His brother Ezekiel.
Oh yeah, we will get to that. Oh my god. Yeah, we will get to that. Holy shit.
I would say a Kevin Owens Cody Rhodes feud might not be bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe not immediately, because if it's my thinking, I think they're going to extend the Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins feud a little bit longer. But I could see before the year's out, I could see those two getting into a feud.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's how they ended night 1. Anybody else want to put in anything for night 1? With anything else with the Stone Cold match as well?
Nothing else to add. Like I said, I think it ended on a high note. If I have to pick a best dress of night 1, I'm gonna give it to Seth Rollins just for showing off the thigh meat and the lace. I'll give him the award for best dressed.
And you know what, DeAndre? I'm going to give it to Becky Lynch for the same reason.
Yeah, definitely. I'll tell you what, though, I really did. I mean, as plain Jane, simple as this sounds, I just enjoyed seeing the Stone Cold Steve Austin's just original, Austin 316 shirt. Like, it's like, because now you're going to see those emerge again. Like, you're going to see people wearing Austin 316 shirts again. You know, I remember a time where that was a hot thing. Like, you go out and you'd see a lot of people wearing them, and you'd be like, people are like, what's Austin 316 mean? If you don't know what wrestling is, like, you know what Austin 316 means. You know, but like now, because 19 years, I'll see one every once in a while, but, you know, they're rare. But now, hopefully we see a resurgence of them. I'm pretty sure they sold pretty damn well.
Yeah.
So
at this point, Austin 316 shirts are just pop culture, period.
Yeah.
Like, you could go into a freaking Hot Topic and see an Austin 316 shirt.
Yeah,
you're right. Sue the shit out of them, but yeah, that thing's just as much a piece of pop culture as an NWO shirt.
Mm-hmm.
One last thing is I have the Charlotte Ronda match on, and this match could have taken place in fucking Idaho, because they are just throwing potatoes at each other, man. These women hate each other. They're fucking.
Dude, why are you torturing yourself right now? Why are you torturing yourself?
I'm too lazy to find the remote.
Yeah, like you said, that Ronda's chest was red.
Man, dude, they just showed like a stiff elbow from Charlotte to Ronda's head.
I wonder if they're wrestling each other pretty stiff, because I wonder if there's some beef between them still, like real beef.
Yeah.
I mean, I think so. Like, being Charlotte, like Charlotte's, love her or hate her, she set the bar in the women's division. Mm-hmm. And you know what? When you set that bar, you're always going to have heat. Always. And I feel like she has just even more heat because of her last name too. Like, she's always had that. She's always going to have to deal with that. But you got to think though, even like where you work, like if you're the top dog where you work and you have this temporary part-timer who's being subbed out to your place, you know, on your territory, you know, I get it. Yeah, a little defensive. Like, you know, this is a part-timer. I've been here every day, every week, every month, all year, you know, and you're here a couple days out of the year, and then you get to win the Rumble and main event, I could see why there's some, you know, just natural beef.
Oh yeah, and like I kind of equate Charlotte to one of like my students, like especially the ones that are really naughty, but they're really fucking cute. So you kind of let it slide. You're like, oh, you're being an ass, but you got those dimples. Like, it's okay. Like, I think Charlotte gets to be a fucking asshole in this industry, but she's a Flair, so it's okay.
Mm-hmm. A tenure.
Yeah, like, you fucking, oh.
Tenure
Like,
working, she is arguably the top heel among the women's wrestlers. And I wonder if it is genuine animosity or if some of that stiffness was from a lack of chemistry between the two and a lack of timing.
That too.
And so certain blows, you know, timing was also maybe they hit a little bit harder.
yeah.
I mean, how much time do these two really get to mess around before? I mean, they probably knew going out of the Rumble that this was happening, but I mean, that was Ronda's only match, right? Was the Rumble and then right to WrestleMania.
I think she had like a SmackDown match in between against Sonya Deville.
Yeah, she wrestled at
yeah. That's right.
I'll say she did wrestle at No Way Out in Saudi Arabia.
That's right.
Well, not No Way Out, Elimination Chamber.
I forgot about that massive match. That awesome. Damn.
That barn
I forgot that awesome, memorable match. Very memorable. Crap. That's fucking funny. Yeah, so that was a pretty good WrestleMania Night 1. And what we're going to do is we're going to end this episode. We're going to take a break from Charlotte and Ronda being so god-awful.
I'm sorry to bring it back.
Yeah, dude, just opening up wounds. I thought we moved on from this. I thought we took the toilet paper and wiped, but apparently we didn't wipe enough.
Wild card, bitches.
Wild card, bitches.
And his name is John Cena. Give me what I want. Give me what I want.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Oh yeah? Well, screw you guys. I'm going home.
Bye. Have a great time.